Introducing the new Splatoon 2 weapon, the Tenta Brella. The new tent-like Splatoon weapon where you can shoot out an umbrella like a massive tent. We're gonna go camping, folks. Sheldon describes it as the following. The Tenta Brella is, well, a big umbrella that looks like a camping tent. The squid beacon sub is perfect for pushing forward as you protect your teammates with the Brella consistency. The bubble blower allows you to support your teammates by inking out far and wide around them. This set is highly recommended for team-minded inklings that want to lead themselves to victory. That's what I call synergy, folks. This is what I call a beautiful weapon. This is what I call taking what you have, the apples, the oranges, the lemons of the world, and squeezing them into one fantastic pulp-free lemonade. Okay, folks, that's what I'm saying. And the lemonade is going to taste great because this Tenta Brella is actually like okay. Like I feel like I've been hyping it up this whole entire video so far. Like I've wasted your whole entire time for like, yeah, it's decent. But you know what? It's actually pretty great. And I'm going to describe it in detail in this video. So if you enjoy good quality YouTube content, click off this video and watch like someone else. No, I'm kidding. Stay here, hit the subscribe button. My name's Niko Amii. What's up, amigos? It's me, Niko. You know, we're gonna think of a catchphrase soon. But anyways, I say anyways way more than the word anyways could even be used for. But anyways, we are here with the Splatoon 2 Tenta Brella. And the Tenta Brella is an upgrade version of the regular Brella. We were introduced to the Brella in late July. And it was pretty cool. It was a really cool addition to the scene. The big Brella is now even bigger than what we imagined. Like when the Brella came out, I was like, wow, this thing is massive. It's this umbrella that just squeezes out of your hands and goes out into the world like a lost balloon at like a birthday party when you let go of the balloon. That's what it feels like. And you feel like, you know, you have this baby, right? It's been in your stomach for all these months, and you finally let go. You cut that umbilical cord, and instead of putting the baby in your arms, you throw it to the air. And that's what it feels like with the umbrella. But anyways, I did it again, didn't I? Anyways, the Brella felt massive when it came out, and it was really not just massive as in like, oh, it was so popular and strong. I meant massive as in like in the game. Like when you shot it out, it felt like, what is this big foreign object just grassing through the ink towns of Inkopolis, you know? But now the whole thing has been redone. This thing literally looks like a killer whale. Like it looks like, you know, like when you watch those documentaries and like the blue whales eating like the little like skeletons or whatever. What's the plankton? The SpongeBob guy. You know, no, I know plankton. It sounded like I didn't know plankton, but oh, trust me, I know plankton first and second name. Okay, but the Splatoon 2 Brella was crazy when it first came out. It felt big, it did a lot of damage, it was really unique. People didn't really know how to work around it. You know, about a month has passed now, more than a month of having the Brella, and you know, it's still good. It does do the trick. It splats people, it disturbs people, it goes out of nowhere and just blocks ink. But now the whole thing has been completely reimagined with the Tenta Brella. This thing is massive. If you thought the regular Brella was big, it's like comparing like a little piece of, let me look for something in my room. It's like looking for a little piece of a booger compared to a big booger. You get it? Because like booger, you're supposed to laugh because there's boogers in my room. I'm kidding, there's not boogers in my room, but only in my nose. So this thing is massive. You know, it only took 4 minutes for me to say it 5 times, but this thing is massive. You bring it out, you stretch it out like a retractable awning, and it captivates the whole entire screen. It literally takes up like huge amounts of space. This thing, literally, like it's like a bed compared to a pillow. Like that's how big it feels. And you're with your teammates, and you're just kind of like swimming around, having a good old inkling time, and all of a sudden you're like, hey folks, hey Timmy, hey Nancy, want to see something cool? You bring out this whole massive looking sheet of paper. The other girls are like, wow, they're grabbing their pencils and their little notepads, and like, oh, what's going on? They're taking notes. They're like, we want to be like this. And like, oh my gosh, like people are gonna ask for your autograph. It's massive, and you just bring it out. Everyone near you is completely covered. It's like a canopy, and you just shoot it out, and like everyone's in trouble. It's like, oh gosh, solar eclipse 2017 happened, but this is the real solar eclipse of the year. This thing can block the sun for light years, and you bring it out, and like everyone in front of you is going to get hit by this thing because it literally takes up like half the map when it shoots out. And it's really good for splatting and really good for spraying ink because you shoot this thing out and it goes for a while, and it has a wide spread. It's like you're shooting out a splat roller almost. You cover lots of ink. And then you also get to splat a lot of people because not many people are going to be able to dodge this thing. And even the people that are going to dodge this thing, they're worrying about dodging the thing, not about you. While they're dodging it, you're free to move around while you're shooting this thing out. After the Brella is shot, you can go around, you can shoot people with the regular sniper type shot of ink that it has, and you're gonna splat everyone in front of you. And of course, the others, okay, I'm not a huge fan of the teleporting sub-weapon thing. I don't think it really helps me that much, but you know, it helps the team, so who knows. I'm more a big fan of like splat bombs and you know, like the sticky grenades and stuff. I'm a fan of those type of sub-weapons, but I guess it's okay. But the big bread and butter here is the balloon, bubble, blower, poppin', blaster, fanatic, frenzy. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. When you're shooting those bubbles out like it's summer day and you're like, hey, Rebecca, I want to see something cool. Not only do you have that really, really big Tenta Brella to really wow the crowd and get that applause, you have this big bubble machine going on. And of course, we all know what the bubble blower does by now. It's been out for almost a month, but it works perfectly with this thing because you shoot out the bubbles, you let go of the Tenta Brella. The Tenta Brella runs into the bubbles, and you know, you just get this big explosion of happiness. You know, it's great. And you know, it's not okay. I just said it's great, like it's phenomenal. I would only give this thing like a B-, B. There is tons of negatives. I've sounded very optimistic throughout this whole entire video, but there are some really big flaws with this thing. Starting off with how big it is. You aren't that mobile when it's out there. People can easily swing around you and splat you while you're holding this thing down. Not only that, but it's slower than a turtle. It might be as big as a tortoise, but it is as slow as a tortoise. It takes forever to, I mean, in Splatoon 2, forever is 5 seconds. Like, if you're not really quickly moving from place to place shooting ink, you're going slow. And this thing, although it's probably like, what, like a 4 or 5 second wait to get the Splat Brella out there, that's a huge, huge wait. Like, you would lose so much time by doing that. And, you know, it is a good weapon, and it does do a lot of damage, but with all weapons that are really strong and do lots of damage, tend to be really like sluggish. And the thing is, this thing is very strong, but you're pretty vulnerable, you're pretty slow. But you know what, that doesn't make you bad either. It's still strong. I don't think the bubble blower is too great in general. Like, it does well with this weapon, but I don't think the bubble blower, I mean, it's good, but it's not the level of the Tenta missiles or the ink storm. You know, I think the ink storm would have been better than this, would have been better for this weapon personally. But you know, this thing, you can see in the gameplay, it takes up tons of ink. It's like a sponge. Like, this thing has lots and lots of endurance. It can take a lot of ink, and I splatted a ton of people, and I do think it's better than the original Brella in a way, because the original Brella, in my opinion, had a better sub weapon and special, and it was quicker. This thing is slower but stronger, and I did give the Splat Brella like an A-, so I guess I am going to give this thing I mean, if I said it's better, it has to be an A, but it's a little, I don't know. The weapon itself, I would say, is as equally good as the Splat Brella, but the Splat Brella has better, better sub weapon, better special. So I would say this one's a B+. Splat Brella is an A-. It's slow, but it's very strong. Really quickly, I'm going to go through the modes that it's good in. It's really good in splat zones because literally, like, this thing takes up half the splat zone when it gets shot, which is very powerful. It's very good at, besides that, okay, like, it's good in tower control because you can go on that tower and literally cover like half your team with that massive like shield that you got going on. And The other two modes are not too great with this thing. It's very, 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 very not good at all at splatting ink around the stage. It's not good at turf wars at all. I mean, yeah, you're shooting this big thing that's spraying ink, but it's slow. Its regular shot doesn't do much. I'm not a huge fan of this thing in turf wars. I go back and forth on how I feel about it on Rainmaker, because in Rainmaker you can defend the Rainmaker really easily, but again, you're pretty slow, and the Rainmaker usually wants to go fast. They're not the most patient of people, those Rainmakers, and I don't know, I feel like I'm being very negative on it, but I was very positive for this whole entire video, so I had to kind of counterbalance it, because I don't think it's like the best weapon ever or anything of the sorts. I think it's a solid weapon that you should try. If you're better at slow weapons and more strong weapons, like the, oh my gosh, that big roller that does so much damage, it's very strong, and some people can be very good at it, but I'm very bad at slow weapons because I'm more a fast-paced person, and when you go slow, well, in video games I'm more fast-paced, but I'm not really like the Titan, the slow but strong type of class in games, so I'm not the best at it because I don't have really much of patience in video games. But it's still strong, it still spreads lots of ink, it defends all of your partners, it does a good job at what it's meant to do. So I would try it out. I give it, I've changed my ranking of this literally 10 times in this video, like literally. I started off with A-, I went to a B+, I'm gonna give it a B to B-. It's strong, it's big, it's in charge, it's dominant, but it's very slow. It doesn't do the best job. When you go against anything that's quick, you're gonna lose. When you're all alone and you're facing a roller, you're facing a splat dualies, you're facing a regular Brella, you're facing a slosher, you're gonna die because this thing's too slow to actually do any damage. And it's good when you're with a team, but you have to really be with that team the whole entire time. Thanks for watching. For more Splatoon 2 content, make sure to hit the subscribe. I am the most famous, not famous Splatoon 2 YouTuber, if that makes sense. I'll explain real quick. You know, you got like the Chugga Conroys of the world, you got the IGN, who I love. Oh my gosh, Nintendo Voice Chat, check them out. This isn't sponsored or anything, but they're great. They're IGN and the Nintendo Voice Chat. You have Nintendo themselves. They have huge Nintendo YouTube videos about Splatoon 2. But you see me, if you look at the most viewed Splatoon 2 videos, like in the top 20, I have like 2 of them, and I'm not even that popular. So, you know, help out the non-populars and hit subscribe. Thanks for watching. Goodbye. I'm not going to brag about my success anymore. I feel like a bad person now. Bye.